Well, we finally bought a rock tumbler so we can polish some of these rocks we've been collecting. It's got a pretty good sized barrel and it holds quite a bit. There's some, I thought I'd show you a few specifically that maybe we can remember what they look like and look at them again after we've been going for a little bit. We got to get all the rocks back in there. So that's about how full it's going to be. About 2/3 full, it says. We have a mixture of a lot of agates, some jasper, probably some quartz stuff, some stuff we don't really know, but they look interesting. This big thing here, I'm not sure what's going to happen with it. Feels like kind of a soft surface, so it may not be good. Anyway, I got to put some water in it now. Okay, we've added water to just around the top level of the rocks, a little bit below that. Then we've got to put 4 tablespoons of 60/90 grit in there. Okay, there's the grit dumped in there. I gotta mention, I've never done this before. We are following basically the recipe that the guy at the shop we bought it from gave us. So we'll see what happens. It's ready to put the lid on and put it on the tumbler and start it. So let's see how that goes. Okay, we got the lid on. I'm saving this label right now because it's got instructions on it. And tighten this down. It says hand tighten only, so there we go. Alright, it is in place and we are plug it in. See how loud it is. And nothing's happening. Okay, there we go. Just need a little push. We have a styrofoam cooler we're going to try putting it in. And maybe in a box. It's not extremely loud, but a bunch of rocks going in a circle. And it needs to run this way for 2 weeks, our man told us. Although we got one agate in there I really want to check, keep an eye on, so I'm going to check it here in 2 or 3 days and probably pull that one out. We'll see. We will be back. Okay, our rocks have been going for a week. I opened it up and decided I need to change the water because the grit didn't feel very gritty anymore. But here you can. And I added a few new ones to fill it up a little because these have all reduced in size. But here's just a handful, you can kind of see. I have some pretty nice looking tumbled, polished stones here. Anyway, that's just some of it. I'm going to fill it back up with water and put some more grit in and let it go for another week. Hi guys, it's been a little over a week since we started this last batch of rocks, minus couple of days where we were driving, although they did get tumbled driving down the road in the back of the trailer. Anyway, we're gonna clean them off and see how many we got ready for stage 2. There you go. So let me start cleaning this off. We're rinsing our rocks off. They're pretty good looking ones so far. Well, we got some really nice rocks going here. When they're wet, that's a lot what they'll look like after they get polished. That's a really pretty one. Some jasper. I like this one a lot. If you remember before I started, I showed this rock. It was big and green and chonky looking, and that might be ready for stage 2. So I'm going to finish washing these off and then we'll take them in and get them separated. Okay, we went through these rocks that we cleaned off, and between the last batch and this batch we have enough that are ready to move on to stage 2. So we're going to go ahead and do these next. Okay, we're using medium fine grit on this batch. That's 120 to 220. So I put 4 tablespoons in there. Add some water. Not quite to cover the top of the rocks. That's probably good. I hope I don't have too many in here. Okay, and I'll put the lid on and get it going. We'll let this go for 2 weeks. The first stage grinds down all the rough edges, smooths it all. Now this stage will start smoothing those surfaces and getting them ready for polishing. There we go. Here's our rocks that we have finished step 2 of the polishing process on. They're basically smoothed down, and see, they're starting to get a little bit of a very dull shine on them. Find a couple more. There's this green one that was really big and rough when we started. So now we're going to do a pre-polish with them, and we'll do that for, I don't know, maybe about 10 days, not 2 weeks. And then after that we'll do the final polish. So our next step is to get them going on the pre-polish. I'm getting this ready. I've got some ceramic pellets here. I'm going to add enough so that we're about 2/3 full. That looks about roughly right to me. You want it to be 2/3 to get the best tumbling action, and as the rocks get ground down, you lose some of that volume, so you add these to make up for it. And we need to fill it up to that should be good. Just barely, not quite covering it. And I'm going to add 5 tablespoons of the pre-polish. Okay, I've added my stage 3 pre-polish grit. There we go. That's better. There. And there. Okay, we let these rocks go on the pre-polish for 2 weeks, which was really longer than I needed to, I think, but we just got busy and didn't get around to taking them out. So we took them out and washed them off, and they're really looking pretty good. Of course they're wet, so, but the ones that are starting to dry out a little, you can see some
This one's not wet at all.
shininess on them. So we're going to put them in the polish stage and let that go for, I think my instructions from the guy we bought this from said 10 days. I'll have to look and see. And we'll see what we get. My only biggest concern is I didn't get them clean enough in between stages, and so got some contamination. But we will know if that's a problem or not here in another week and a half or so. We got some that are going to look really nice, we think. Okay, I got them put back in the tumbling barrel here. Put some water in. I think I'm going to put a little less water in than what I had last time. Okay, I put 4 tablespoons of polish in there. Got the water filled up to just below the top level of rocks there. So we'll put the lid on here and get it ready to go. Okay, we've been on the polish stage for 2 weeks. So I'm gonna get all these out, get them washed off good, and then we'll let them dry and we'll see how we did. Don't know if I did a good enough job cleaning them off between stages. I'm a little worried about that, but I'll find out here in a little bit. Okay, here are our rocks finished polishing. actually pretty happy with the way they turned out. We have some really nice ones. Most of them polished up pretty good. So we're already thinking of things we can do with them. This is a real nice little piece of jasper. And so there you go. We're going to get another batch going. But our first try, we're pretty happy with. One more thing, I picked out a handful of rocks before we started these to show what they look like, and here's not all of them, but some I can definitely identify compared to the first round before we started them. This one here, I actually think I'm gonna throw back in there and grind some more of this part that didn't really polish up off. Some of it did though. It's got some agate in there. Okay, that's all. We'll have to do some more.